Hello guys, Kaiser here, back with another video. Today we are in the Saving Transylvania operation mode, and this video will just be a quick guide with some tips and tricks on how to successfully get that 5-star for this mission to unlock the Bella Trophy if you have not yet managed to do so. Alright, so in this match I am in a division, a 3-man division with 2 destroyers and 1 cruiser. I am in the destroyer, the Blade. Captain for the Blade is of course the only one you can choose from, is Abe von Hellsinger, and the build I run on the Blade is for maximum torpedo reload, just to spec into the torpedoes and spam them as quickly as possible. Alright, so the first thing I would like to go over here is my recommendation is, first tip here is to play in a 3-man division if you can, with people that you are communicating with on a mic. It's best higher success rate if you play in a 3-man division, just because it's more people that coordinate successfully with each other. It's just easier to successfully focus on specific targets if needed and support each other. Alright, so here we jump into this match here, and as you can see I went out to go spot for my team here, and I am being focus fired by the catapults and the enemy Zikasas, the zombie ships, and just spamming torpedoes every 17 seconds to try and get as many of them off the map. Alright, so my second tip here would be to play in a division of 2 destroyers and then either as 1 cruiser or 1 battleship. So you take 2 blades in your division and then 1 Igor, the cruiser, or 1 Jackal, the battleship. And the 2 destroyers' responsibilities are to alternate between which one of them is going to go out and spot, take the lead and spot the enemy ships, and launching torpedoes and spotting the catapults, very importantly. Also focus on spotting those catapults as soon as possible. And then the other destroyer is gonna heal inside the circle with the Transylvania, and also remember to swap between the 2 destroyers to make sure that both of them heal adequately so they don't just die. It's very important to make sure that you prioritize your own health over spotting, so that you can always stay in the fight longer and get more torpedoes out. Alright, so then yeah, like I said, in the destroyer you need to spot those catapults as soon as possible, and then the reason you need to take a cruiser or a battleship as the 3rd person in your division is so that cruiser or battleship can get rid of those catapults as soon as possible. The destroyers are very good at spotting the catapults, but if the catapults start focusing on the destroyers, then they are going to be in serious trouble, and the cruiser or battleship needs to focus on those catapults and get them out of the way as soon as possible. The other very important thing that I would recommend is either the cruiser or the battleship, that's 3rd person in the division, make sure it's their primary objective to destroy the catapult, and then to stay inside the circle right next to the Transylvania the whole way, or the whole escort route, for the duration of the escort. It's very important to make sure that one person that you're communicating with is making it their sole objective to stay in the circle at all times and keep the Transylvania moving. Because if the Transylvania does not move, then you lose your 1st star, which is in my experience the star that I lost the most often when I was playing with randoms is so nobody takes it upon themselves to make sure that they stay within the circle. Everybody wants to go out and fight, and then there's no one in the circle, and then you lose that 5th star that you needed. So yeah, very important that the cruiser or battleship player focuses on the catapults and make sure that they are staying within the circle at all times. So every time they fire a salvo at a catapult or at an enemy ship, they need to not zoom in at a target, quickly look around them at the ship and see which way the Transylvania is heading, match the speed and match the direction. just to make sure that you are having that awareness of where the Transylvania is moving at all times. Alright, and then the second thing I would, the third thing I would advise is to make sure that as soon as there is enemy Zikasa that's coming close enough to be a threat that they could potentially enter the circle of the Transylvania, all ships in your escort fleet need to focus that ship down as soon as possible. As you can see here, that enemy Zikasa got a little too close for comfort there, and I instantly switched targets, and I urged all my division mates and the randoms to also prioritize that ship, because if that ship gets into the circle, the Transylvania stops moving for a few seconds, and then you lose your star that you needed to have when you want to guarantee that the Transylvania is moving the whole route, along the whole route. So that's also a very important thing to note. So make sure you are aware of which enemy ships are which or are what distance away from the circle, and make sure you prioritize those ships, the closest ships, the first priority target as soon as possible. Alright, and then for the cruiser or the battleship player that's escorting the Transylvania, if you manage to kill all the catapults and help kill all the Zikasas, the enemy Zikasas, then Rasputin will spawn, and he has two escorting Zikasas on either side of him. And then, very important, the destroyers will go out and torpedo those support ships, so always try and prioritize the two support ships next to Rasputin first, at least in my opinion, and that way you don't have to worry about them potentially getting into the circle. And then I would say if it is at all possible, if you have one of your division mates still alive by that end, that they stay within the circle, one of the two destroyers, to help the Transylvania, and then either the battleship or the cruiser, that's the third person in the division, prioritizes to ram Rasputin if it comes to that. Very important is Rasputin will try and get into the circle sometimes, and it's very important to make sure that he is dead, and of course he has a very large health pool, so a ram is a very good trade if you still have friendly ships left that you could potentially use to ram the Rasputin with, because if you ram, you trade a lot of hit points, and then your destroyers can quickly mop up Rasputin with a few torps, and that should be the end of him. So keep that in mind if you're in a 3-man division, and then the cruiser or battleship player could prioritize ramming Rasputin if it comes to that. If you see that he might be getting too close to the circle and you don't want to take any chances, go for the ram if at all possible. But also make sure that you do have a person inside the circle, so if you ram, that you don't have any ships within the circle, so do keep that in mind as well. And then of course, yeah, as you can see, the destroyer's responsibility here is torping the enemy Zikasas, making sure that they don't get close to the circle. But also very important is the destroyers need to spot the catapults, because the cruiser and the battleship can't shoot the catapults if they are not spotted. So make sure that at least one of the two destroyers are spotting the catapults the whole time, prioritizing to spot those catapults for your friendly allied ships to help get rid of them. And then if you take too much damage, you heal inside the circle, and your other destroyer mate, division mate in the destroyer, goes out to spot those catapults. Because as you can see here, we have got the star that we need to destroy all catapults with, because we spotted the catapults, and our friendly battleship and our friendly cruiser managed to take care of those catapults. So here, me and my division mate in the two destroyers, we decided to split off. He took the left-hand side, the northern side of Rasputin, and I took the southern side of Rasputin, so we have them in the torpedo crossfire, and my division mate in the other destroyer is focusing on the Zikasa and on Rasputin, and I am focusing on the Zikasa here. As you can see, it's already pretty low health, but we need to focus that Zikasa down as he's getting pretty close into the circle there. But luckily my division mate got him with torpedoes there. I am focusing down the Zikasa, and as you can see, our friendly battleship there is doing the smart thing. He's going in for the ram. As you can see, we have a friendly ship inside the circle, and he rams Rasputin to guarantee that we get rid of Rasputin very quickly. And our friendly cruiser manages to finish off the last escort ship there. So yeah, that's the importance of having a battleship or a cruiser that's able to ram Rasputin. As you can see, there guarantees a lot of damage to Rasputin, and he can't get into the circle of the Transylvania, and she keeps moving, which is everything that you need to guarantee the 5 stars. So yeah, those are some of the tips and tricks that I would recommend you use to try and guarantee the 5 star and get that tier 3 Bellatrophin battleship on the 5 star, so that you can in the second half of the events for this update, the light and dark event, that you can get those portal shards and hopefully get the tier 4 Italian cruiser Genova. So yeah, that is some of the points that I wanted to mention for this video, and yeah, just keep trying. If you don't try, you'll never reach your end goal, and yeah, so just keep trying, be patient, it will come eventually, and if you prioritize the things that I mentioned in this video, you are most likely guaranteed to get the 5 stars. And as you can see here, Transylvania successfully reached end destination, and she did not lose more than 50% of her hit points. So yeah, that's a very good 5 star there, that we managed to complete the operation successfully. And as you can see there, I had a few 4-star matches before this one, but this was my first 5-star match. Alright, so let's quickly take a look at our individual performance. You will see that we managed to pull off, I think it was 31 torpedo hits, and you will see that we managed to get 6 kills there and 160,000 damage, 19 floods caused, and we managed to get off a pretty nice contribution to the team there. Alright, so yeah, that brings us to the end of this short little tips and tricks video on how to try and 5-star the Saving Transylvania operations mode. I hope you found this video useful, and hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please hit that like button, and if you want to see more videos and guides like this, please hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Auf Wiedersehen.